teen waiter drenched by racist cop seconds later. It cost the officer his badge and pension. What happens when a single act of cruelty unravels a man's life in mere moments? In the heart of a sleepy southern town, where the diner's jukebox hums old country tunes, 17-year-old Marcus Tate learned the answer. He was just a kid, balancing trays and dreams, serving coffee to folks who often looked past his dark skin. But one humid evening, a single spilled cup would ignite a firestorm that no one saw coming. Marcus wiped sweat from his brow, his apron stained from a long shift. The diner was half empty, the air thick with the scent of fried onions and grease. Officer Dale Harper, a regular with a badge that gleamed like his ego, sat at the counter. His eyes, cold and sharp, followed Marcus with a quiet menace. Marcus had felt that gaze before too many times. He knew what it meant. Still, he poured Harper's coffee with steady hands, ignoring the officer's muttered slur under his breath. "Keep it quick, boy," Harper growled, loud enough for the room to hear. The word stung, but Marcus swallowed it. He had a family to support: his mom, sick at home, and a little sister dreaming of college. He couldn't afford to react. The jukebox skipped, and the room fell silent. Marcus turned to grab a rag, but his elbow clipped Harper's cup. Black coffee splashed across the counter, a few drops landing on the officer's pristine uniform. The diner held its breath. Harper shot to his feet, his face red with rage. "You think you can disrespect me?" he bellowed, snatching the half-empty pot from Marcus's hand. Before anyone could move, Harper dumped the scalding liquid over Marcus's head. Gasps erupted. Marcus staggered back, his shirt clinging to his skin, the burn of coffee nothing compared to the humiliation searing his soul. "You're nothing," Harper spat, his voice dripping with venom. "Know your place." The words hung heavy, a challenge to Marcus's very existence. The other patrons, old Mr. Jenkins, the trucker in the corner, even Ms. Clara, the diner's owner, stared in stunned silence. Marcus's fists clenched, his heart pounding with a fury he'd long suppressed. But he didn't swing. Instead, he straightened, his wet clothes dripping onto the linoleum, and met Harper's gaze. "My place," he said, voice steady, "is right here." What Harper didn't know was that the trucker, a quiet man named Eli, had his phone out, recording. The video captured every second: the coffee, the slur, the hate in Harper's eyes. Eli, a former Marine with a sense of justice as unyielding as his frame, uploaded it to X before Harper could even sit back down. By the time Marcus mopped the floor, the clip was spreading like wildfire. Hashtags bloomed: "Justice for Marcus," "End racism now." The internet roared, and the town woke up. Within hours, the video reached the county sheriff's office. Harper's badge, once his shield, became his shackle. The sheriff, a grizzled man who'd seen too much, watched the footage in disbelief. By morning, Harper was called in. The room was cold, the air thick with the weight of consequences. "You disgraced the uniform," the sheriff said, his voice low but firm. Harper's protests, his years of service, his moment of stress, fell on deaf ears. The sheriff slid a resignation form across the desk. "Sign it, or we press charges." Harper's pension, his pride, his power gone in a signature. Back at the diner, Marcus stood behind the counter, his burns bandaged, his spirit unbroken. The town buzzed with whispers, some angry, some ashamed. Ms. Clara hung a new sign on the door: "All are welcome." Eli, the trucker, slipped Marcus a folded 20, muttering, "You're stronger than he'll ever be." Marcus nodded, his eyes bright with something new hope. The video had done more than cost Harper his badge. It had sparked a reckoning. Neighbors who'd once looked away now met Marcus's gaze with respect. The diner, once a place of quiet prejudice, became a beacon of change. Marcus didn't want revenge. He wanted better for his mom, his sister, himself. As he served coffee that night, the jukebox played a new song, one of redemption. The world wasn't fixed, but it was listening. And Marcus, still just a teen, had shown it how to stand tall. Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.